Science 6, Quarter 3. Lesson 3, Simple Machines, Inclined Plane. This is your teacher, science teacher, Joy Marie S. Luna. The simple machines that are included in the inclined plane family have slopes that aid in performing certain tasks. Inclined planes, wedges, and screws belong to this group of simple machines. What's in? How do inclined planes work? Materials: a piece of plywood, 3 feet times 1/2 feet. Pile of books, small box with load, cord or chain of rubber bands. Do it this way. Number 1. Make an inclined plane on your table using a plywood. 2. Use this plane to connect the tabletop to another slightly elevated position, like pile of books. 3. Try to move a light object up and down the inclined plane. Make the inclined plane steeper and observe the difference when moving up objects on different inclinations. Guide questions. Number 1. What will happen if you use a triangle with a steeper incline? Number 2. What will happen if the triangle had a less steep incline? What's new? An inclined plane is a slanting surface used to raise heavy objects where less force is exerted through a distance. In our activity, the less steep ramp, less force is needed. However, you will have to pull load through a longer distance to raise it up to the desired height. On a steeper ramp, more force is needed. However, the incline will be shorter. The inclined plane is a flat, supporting surface tilted at an angle, with one end higher than the other. It is used in raising and lowering a load. An inclined plane lessens the effort exerted over a distance and changes the direction from straight up to along the angle of the plane of the effort applied. The lesser the angle of the inclined plane, the longer the distance and lessen the effort needed. Inclined planes are widely used in a form of loading ramps to load and unload goods on ships, trucks, and airplanes. Wheelchair ramps allow people in wheelchairs to get over obstacles without exceeding their strength. A ramp and a staircase is an example of an inclined plane. Less force is exerted through a distance because part of the weight of the object is supported by the inclined plane. The amount of work done is the same whether the inclined plane is long or short, but it is easier to move the load over a longer inclined plane. Inclined plane is common in docks, factories, and construction sites. Long ramps, however, have the tendency to sag due to the heavy weights. What is it? From a short information that you have read about inclined plane, answer the following questions. Number 1. What is an inclined plane? Number 2. How does an inclined plane make work easier? Give a concrete example. What's more? Write yes if the statement tells whether it uses an inclined plane and no if not. Number 1. Climbing up a tree using a ladder. The answer is yes. Number 2. Lifting a pail mixed cement up the rooftop. The answer is no. Number 3. loading heavy drums on a truck? The answer is no. 4. Ramps allotted for people in wheelchairs. The answer is yes. Number 5. Transferring a refrigerator to the kitchen. The answer is no. What I have learned. Underline the correct words from the parentheses to complete the paragraph. An inclined plane, or lever, is a slanting surface used to raise, light or heavy, objects where less or more force is exerted through a direction or distance. The inclined plane supports part of the height or weight of the object being carried. What I can do. Look at the 2 inclined planes. Describe what you notice about each plane. If you were to let a book slide down the inclined plane, which plane would allow the book to slide faster? Why do you think that? If you had to push something up in one of the inclined planes, which inclined plane would be easier to push something up? Why do you think that? Assessment. Choose the letter of the best answer. Write your answer on the blank before the number. Number 1. What is a flat surface whose one end is higher than the other to lift heavy objects with relatively less effort? A. Narrow plane. B. Inclined plane. C. Smooth surface. D. Wide surface. Number 2. Which of the following is an inclined plane? A. Wheelbarrow. B. Wheel and axle. C. Ladder. Or D. Wedge. Number 3. In lifting an object using an inclined plane, blank. Force is needed. A. Less. B. More. C. Too much. Or D. Slow. Number 4. You are assigned to assist your classmate with a wheelchair to go to the second floor. What will you do? A. I will use the stairs going up to the second floor. B. I will use the ramp going up to the second floor. C. I will carry my classmate going up to the second floor. Or D. I will use the harness going up to the second floor. Number 5. For your outreach program to the victims of earthquake, there are 10 sacks of rice and 10 boxes of canned goods to be loaded to a truck. What simple machine will you use to load the items into the truck? A. Pulley. B. Wheel and axle. C. Wheelbarrow. Or D. Inclined plane. For your additional activities, check the pictures which are an example of an inclined plane. We have ladder, block and tackle pulley, PWD ramps, escalator, car loading ramp.